Welcome back to another episode of the RAG Report podcast. I'm delighted to be joined every single day at the moment by a recruiter, a recruitment owner, a supplier, an advisor to the industry who are prepared to give up their time to help recruiters everywhere in the world navigate through this pandemic we face ourselves with COVID-19. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by a guy who I've been chatting to on and off on LinkedIn for the best part of 3 years, a guy called Shaun Hervey. He's a New Yorker. He's an in-house talent acquisition specialist, so he's got some agency experience, but has spent the last 7 years in-house. And I felt this would be a relevant episode, so Shaun can not only tell us what's going on in the US, but also what would an internal recruiter want from an agency in light of what's going on. So, without further ado, Shaun, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. It's great to finally get on the horn and talk live, and I'm excited to be on the RAG Report. Love the show.
Awesome, thanks, mate. Look, you first popped up, I think, about 3 years ago. I remember doing a post about the gym. I made a post about like I was in a meeting with a recruitment company that was saying to me, you know, we're really passionate about our people and we want to build this employer brand. And then someone walked out the office. It was like 12 at lunchtime, and the recruiter banged his arm on the desk, and I was like, what's up with you? And he goes, oh, he's going to the gym. I was like, what's wrong with that? He goes, oh, he's still in probation. I was like, so you're telling me you want to build an employer brand, but you won't let your team go to the gym when they're in probation in the middle of the day? And I was like, this doesn't add up. So I did this big rant on LinkedIn, and I think you commented, and I remember my views went through the roof after you, because you opened me up to a US market I didn't have. So
really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. I remember seeing it was a video, right?
Yeah, I was walking and talking, and then I finished it at the gym, and I just put the phone down. I remember it. But I got like 250,000 views on that. This was on LinkedIn.
Crazy.
LinkedIn was just picking up like the algorithm. But yeah, you opened up the US, so thanks for that, mate.
You got it, man. Happy to help you. I remember that video, and I remember that situation too. And I just remember thinking like, you know,
it's not good
at this point. Like, yeah, if someone's doing their work, if they're doing good, if you believe in them, and you're looking to build a brand, like you can't look over people's shoulder and expect them to be successful. That's just something that you have to, until someone gives you a reason not to trust them, then okay, right? But if someone wants to go to the gym in their lunch break, it's their hour, right? Doesn't really matter what they do.
Well, look, I think all those little problems we were having like that, I feel a little bit academic right now. Like we've got a much bigger problem face. One, we're at home, so. No, we're not even allowed out more than once a day to go to the park in the UK. I don't know about you. So where are you right now, Shaun?
I'm in New York, but I live outside of New York. I am in Long Island.
Right. Okay.
So it's probably about like a 45-minute commute via the Long Island Railroad into Penn Station, which is not where you want to be right now. You do not want to be anywhere near New York. Stay away. Do not come here. Please do not come here. It's getting worse by the day. The numbers are rising. I understand that we have more access to tests now, so the numbers are rising, but still, it's a hotbed.
It's a hotbed.
It's a hotbed. It just is, right? You have so many different people coming and going from so many different countries that it is really it's a hotbed. And I would highly advise, if you have any business out here, cancel it. Just don't do it.
Yeah, I don't think we'd be able to anyway right now. I don't think we're allowed. Trump did say, I think it was yesterday though, that he expects the US to be back in business by Easter, which sounds ridiculous.
Sounds ridiculous. It does. I think when it comes to President Trump, I think he says a lot of things. But with this, I think the message that he was trying to get was probably that, listen, we got to get back to work sooner rather than later, which I completely understand, and I echo that sentiment. But by Easter, it does seem a little far-fetched. Well,
he did say one line, which I quite liked. He said, let's not let the solution be worse than the problem. So by having everyone at home, one, the economy is going to be in meltdown, and you're going to have more suicides, more people in. So you could end up losing more people and ruining more lives than you can just by the. And I'm not saying who knows what the right answer is right now.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit here and try to say like I think I know what the right answer is or anything like that, but I do echo the sentiment, the fact that like we need to start getting back to some sort of normalness. I mean, I know we had a week, 2-3 weeks of let's really contain, let's get, let's just play it safe, but eventually, I mean, companies have to start opening up their doors again. I mean, business, the oldest saying in the book is, the show must go on. And I know that there's so many other factors here, but, I'm hoping that he is right and we are somewhere in that time frame, but I just don't know, man. It's unprecedented times and something we just never seen before. We're talking global. Like 9/11 was very, the United States economy was really hit hard by it. And a couple of other economic areas, but this is worldwide. This pandemic, this is everyone, the world economy. So it's
scary stuff.
Scary.
Well, so let's straight into it. What's life been like for you personally? What have you been up to?
Yeah. So right now I'm actually in transition. So I actually took took some time off from my last in-house role and still trying to figure some things out. I'm in the space of, do I want to go back into an in-house sort of situation, or am I at that point where I've built up this network where I want to be working on my own? So I happen to pick literally the worst time in American history to do something like this. So I'm probably going to pick up a contract or two and just work alongside, have some income coming in the door like that, and slowly build a desk on my own and start to build out my own little agency. That's
is it a recruitment agency you want to build?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're in-house, do you specialize in technology or any
sales, marketing? But I think really right now, I definitely want to look into the rec-to-rec space, especially in the US. I don't think there's a ton of companies out there. And I think one thing that we're going to see from as soon as the companies start going right now is that once we get the green light, recruiters are the first to go, and companies are going to be scrambling to get recruiters in the door to hire for their open roles. Sales roles are going to open up. Customer success roles are going to open up, and they're going to need to hire. But you've already let go your recruiting team, so now you're going to have time on, time to fill looking for recruiters. And now, I think there's just going to be a opportunity.
When you say rec to rec, placing in-house recruiters into
tech companies.
So not recruiters for recruitment agencies.
Yeah, probably tech. That's where my network is built. So I'm still in that infant stage of trying to really figure.
All right. Well, you've got time. You got some time on your hands.
I've got a lot of time.
Let's take the positives we can.
Silver linings, man.
So look, what I think a lot of the UK recruitment agency marketplace, like I'm having conversations every day, both offline and online, and there's an overwhelming trend that I'm seeing, which is how do we still be relevant? And what I mean by that is we've got all these customers who've just put a fucking hiring freeze on.
Yeah.
So what can we do now that means we don't just piss people off, just trying to harass a company that's not hiring, but we also need to stay relevant. We need to be engaging this brand. We need to be dealing with these organizations so that when it does turn, and it will, we're going to be at the table. So look, you've been on the other side. I've never been on the other side apart from in my own business. So when you're an internal talent acquisition specialist, what's going on for those people right now? Let's paint the picture. What's in the US talent acquisition guys? Are they getting laid off? Are they getting retained? What's going on?
Yeah, so I think what's happening now, obviously when companies start hiring, especially in high-tech, hyper-growth companies, if you're not hiring, recruiters are the first ones to go. Like it's just a matter of, it's just a fact, right? So I know that a lot of companies are trimming the fat. I know a lot of recruiters that were let go recently due to this entire pandemic. So it's a shame. So one of the things that, I would do, like, just from being in-house and seeing it from the other side of the view, from the agency side of it, to stay relevant, really it's about reaching out. It's about being in front and staying in front of your customers, but for the right way, like doing it come from a place of empathy and just really checking in to see how they are as people. For example, I received an email the other day. I won't read it verbatim, but essentially what this person reached out to say was, "Hey, Shaun, how has coronavirus affected your hiring? I have consultants that are ready to go right now should you need any temporary staffing issues, like any temporary staffing help." And what this person doesn't know, I'm sure there was no malice behind it. I'm sure that this person was not trying to be insensitive, but like, people are losing their jobs right now. People are scared. People are literally trying to figure out how they're going to put food on the table, right? And the people that are remaining, they just let go of their friends. They just let go people that have been there for years, their colleagues. The last thing that they want to do is bring someone in, and the realization that these roles would be refilled. That's the reason why they got let go, right? Because there's no need for recruitment. There's no need for some of that right now. And, trimming the fat, so to speak, I mean, let's just call a pig, right? Like, that's what it is. Reaching out with that selling mentality right now is just not the best way to do things. So what I would suggest, I mean, it would be reaching out from a place of, listen, Joe, I don't really know how you guys were affected by this. I don't know what that looks like, but I'm more than happy to hop on the horn and talk to anyone on your team. Job strategies, resumes, whatever that looks like. I mean, I'm not going to make a fee off of you guys, but I'm more than happy to help where I can. Please, like, whatever you guys need, we're here for you, right?
I said this today. I ran a webinar for my clients. I'm doing it every day this week at 10:30 to 11:30 and we can get onto this. I want to talk to you a bit about the whole personal brand piece, but I'm trying to educate the guys. I've got all these customers, mainly in the UK, but some abroad, and they've got all their recruiters that are now at home. So I'm like, right, let's get all your recruiters onto a webinar and let's talk through some strategies around how we can get ourselves and be relevant, right? So this same stuff. And one thing I've been trying to kind of put theory behind a lot of the stuff that I do, like the posts that I create and why they work and things like that. And one of them I was saying, well, exactly what you just said. Yeah. Why don't you go to market with a message that says, look, I've got loads of time. I specialize in sales and marketing or whatever. I expect there's no work. There's not going to be a lot of work out there, but I am open to calls. Just lean on me if you need help. But do you know what? Right. I couldn't find, like, I had all these different examples of types of content, and I could find them like that and like that and like that. Like good news posts, sharing the news, people that are like fighting for their markets. And then I went to find that one, and I just couldn't find it. So it's basic, it's obvious, but people, there's so many people that are either have just been made redundant or are so uncertain about their current career that if you could just say, look, I know a lot about what you're going through and your job, and I've got loads of time to answer any questions. Feel free to reach out. It's a simple but really effective strategy, I think.
It resonates, right? Like, you were the person that was there.
Yeah.
You were the person that was reaching out. And when people need, people are in times of need. Like, this isn't just, someone that got laid off because, they couldn't hit their quota. This was someone that was just laid off because of whatever reason, fill in the blank. But like, this is a crisis. This is a real life, real life situation. And you're there, you're standing out in a way that's more authentic and genuine than most. Like, I saw somebody say the other day, like, hey, it's coronavirus. We're not slowing down. Like, we're not, just very cheery about it. And like, listen, I get the message behind it. Like, he's literally still trying to get people to the company, right? Like, perfect. I understand. But, that too came off like a little bit like, all right, man, let's give some people some time to just adapt to this new reality.
Yeah.
And then let's gradually get into the hiring part. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion,
I agree, though. I said it the other day. I was like, business as usual just isn't the case right now. I don't care if you're trying to perform at the same level. You cannot. You can't put a message out that says, business as usual here. Like, it's not. even if you're in a market like the NHS or the National Health Service and you're recruiting nurses, you're probably much busier than usual. So it's not usual. Like, there's no market I think on exactly the same. It can't be.
Right. There's not. You're exactly right. And the severity of the situation is that, NBA, NHL, everything is just stopped. Everything is stopped. Right. So like, it really is just a crazy situation. We're all just trying to navigate the waters of it. And, I don't want to sound like I'm someone that knows what the answer is, because I don't. I could just tell you from what I'm looking at, and I don't think what yeah, I don't think what I think is the end all be all, but I'm just saying if I was in-house right now and someone was reaching out to me, those are the people I would talk to. I would want to have a conversation with.
So it's as simple as leading with empathy and being open to just saying, look, I'm here, I can help.
I think so, but as long as you're having those, like, that's going to resonate with people that you already have relationships with. You know what I mean? Like, if I've never spoken to you ever, like, and I don't know who you are, and you're reaching out to me to kind of see, like, hey, I hope that you're okay. Like, I know the angle that you're taking, right? But what I'm saying is how to stay in front of your clients or people that you do know would be to reach out. Hey, listen, is there anything I can do?
Yeah, 100%.
That makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I think if you look at building a personal brand, or you have been building a personal brand, then people you know is quite different.
Yes.
Right? So like we knew each other, but we've never actually spoken before. Like this is the first time. So let's get on to that then. So I personally believe now is a better time than ever to spend time building your personal brand, because everyone's online, everyone's consuming information, everyone's trying to learn, everyone's trying to get through this shit. So let's go back. When did you start looking at building a personal brand?
2 years ago, maybe 2017, around the time where you and I first started connecting.
Yeah. And I remember seeing your stuff, you're just getting consistency on everything. Like people were jumping on it. I'd comment on something of yours and I get like 10 follows from America. And I was like, this guy's got a voice. What did you do to get it going?
Oh God. So really funny story. I'll kind of tell you. So I actually started because I thought I was posting something on Facebook. It was a night after a couple of gin and tonics, and I'm in a recruiter group, and I basically told the story about an agency recruiter that kind of, I was not a fan of, or one of his tactics, and I ended up posting it on LinkedIn. And I woke up the next morning.
Feed was just full.
And I've never had anything like that before. Like I had like 3,000 or 4,000 followers, not followers, but like just connections from trying to get business as an account executive when I was doing the sales aspect of it. And I was just kind of like, okay, well, let's see how far we could push this thing. So originally that's how I got kind of started. It was just kind of just saying truths that I thought at the time. And I think one of the things that I've learned since then, I took like a year and a half off, like from posting anything. And I don't think that I did it the right way in the beginning. It got a lot of people watching and following, and I made some like spoof videos of LinkedIn influencers and stuff like that. But looking back at it now, what I want to be and where I want to go, it probably was not the best idea. But I am who I am, and that's, I've had some opportunities open because of it, and I've had some opportunities close because of, who I am and my presence on LinkedIn, and I'm okay with that. But moving forward, I definitely want to be a little bit more useful, give out more information, and kind of less be that sarcastic type of guy that's just making fun of influencers.
Yeah, to be fair, I know a few people, I won't name them, but they get a lot of engagement, and it's usually just for taking a piss. Like it's just for constantly chipping away at people, and that's, I get it. I think sometimes it's a skill to be funny with it. Like I'm not able to do that. Like my approach has always been more about positivity but with an opinion, right? I've never sat on the fence in my life. That's not going to start now. So if I like something, I like it. If I don't, I don't. But I'm not gonna like just go for someone for the sake of it. It's just not my style. In personal, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and what I used to do, like I never went after anybody. Like it was just more of like pretty much mocking myself at that point, because at that point I was, I had a good amount of followers, and like a lot of people would troll me and kind of say like, oh, you're an influencer, you're this, you're that. So I was just making up a character of an extenuation of myself. Like if you've ever seen, Entourage, right? Like, how a celebrity will be on that show and they'll be like an extended version of themselves, right? For a character. That's kind of what I was doing. right? So I was never going after one sort of person. I was always just kind of spoofing myself, right? And I guess that was a time where, like, you know, a lot of people were calling each other like influence. Like,
how did you? What was it that made you stop then? Why did you stop doing it?
I went in house, man. I went in house, and I honestly, like, I just got tired of doing it. It was a lot, and I posted once. The last post I did before I completely stopped was basically a post about telling people that recruiters are not the Red Cross and they don't work directly for candidates. And I don't think I said it in a snarky way. I was just trying to be truthful and very open and honest about the process, saying that every recruiter that you reach out to, they might not be able to help you because it's not their niche or they don't have clients in that space, right? So be selective, do your research on who you engage with on the recruitment side. And I got tons. It went really, really like to 1 million or something views, something really crazy. And by second and third like engagements was just nothing but trolling and like F this guy. Like, it was bad. And I'm like, wow, like I'm literally just trying to be helpful and truthful, but it's apparent that nobody wants to hear truth. They just want to be fed rainbows and butterflies and
who were the
rah,
people
rah,
that wrote
go.
on it? Who was it? Recruiters, or was it
It was some recruiters. It was a lot of like IT engineer type people. It was some hiring managers. It was a mix of everybody. Like, and I did not expect some recruiters, most of the recruiters understood what I was saying.
Yeah.
Right. But it was the people, maybe people that were out of work, maybe people that were in transition that, you know, they just, for whatever reason, they thought I was attacking them or just telling them, you know, basically tough shit, like they can't help you. But that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to come at it from a point of being truthful so they could adjust and learn something, right? Not to reach out to an IT recruiter if you're an accountant.
Yeah, it makes sense. Look, I've said it. It's the sort of thing you'd say on a phone call. Like, if you got we've all had it. I've had it back in the day where, you know, you get a candidate who's perfectly good candidate in their own space, but you're like, I'm like, you might as well call the window cleaner because he ain't
right. Like, I don't know. Like,
I used to hate it. I used to recruit insurance, and banking candidates would come to me, and I'd be like, I cannot work with you. I don't know anything about banks. I don't work with banks, and it might be classed as financial services, but it's like red and blue. Like, there's no relevance.
Right.
And that. So yeah, I 100% agree with that. And I find content, like I was saying this today on my webinar, like the best content comes from the conversations you have anyway. So it's not like sitting down and planning it all out and going, you know, oh, this would be a cool idea. It's if you say something three or four times in a row, or you hear something 3 or 4 times in a row, something's happening. There's a trend that you can then, and if you keep telling one-on-one to stop doing this or need to do that, then why not just put it online so that more people can hear it? But you do open.
Exactly.
The bit is, though, you open yourself up. The more you put yourself out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The other day I posted about the dark side.
Yeah.
Or not the dark side, but, you know, it's just things that I wish that I would have known about posting content before I got into it. And it was just basically everything that we talked about just now.
Yeah. So what would what would you do differently then? What's the plan now?
I think one of the things that I was doing that I'm really looking to change now, or just, you know, doing it the right way, so to speak, is just engaging with the people that follow me and just talking and really learning about people and having those conversations. I mean, like, I would put up this post on my videos and just, you know, I mean, maybe it was vanity? I don't know. But I wasn't really engaging with them because I was just trying to get, you know, views for like salespeople or recruiters, whatever I was trying to place at that time, right? I was only reaching out to trying to have conversations with certain people. But now I'm like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Like, I want to have conversations with everybody. I want to get to know everybody because this is what I want to do. I want to do it the right way. And I just don't want to be that person who's posting just to fucking do it, really, just to do it. Like, it just doesn't. It's stupid. It's vanity driven. It's like dopamine kicks to your system. You don't need it anymore. Like, just do it the right way and talk to people. And like, the opportunities and everything that you want to do is going to open up because of those relationships that you've built with people. Doesn't mean it's like a CEO. Doesn't mean it's a VP of sales. Doesn't mean it could be the window cleaner. You know what I mean? Just talk to people. And that's what I wasn't doing. And that's what I want to do now.
Yeah. Okay. So what's your vision for the next, so when things settle down a bit, how do you think recruitment will change? What do you think will have adapted?
I think we are going to go into like such a time of like hyper growth. Like, companies talk about building fast now. I think they're going to have no choice but to build fast, right? So like, let's say if you're a startup and you want to hire a number of sales heads. Let's say you got budgeted last quarter for like 5 or 6 sales heads. You're going to have to hire twice as fast now, simply because of like the ramp up times are all thrown off to meet the numbers that the board gives you, or your revenue targets. You have to be tracking, right, at certain times.
Do you think like investor backed businesses with huge sales forecasts will keep to the same targets, or would they?
I don't.
That's the bit.
How can you?
You can't.
You know what I mean? Like, how can you? But I've worked with some companies, man, that they're just absolutely brutal, right? And I would not be surprised if they try to kind of spin it and be like, well, this is a time where our clients, we can help our clients, and this is push, right? But at the end of the day, no one's going to be looking at buying $1 million+ software right now. It's just the name of the game. I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's the case, but I would be hard pressed to kind of see how many companies are actually buying.
When do you think we'll be back to some form of normality?
Well, if the president is right, Easter. No, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I would hope June, July, that we'll see some normalcy. I hope that maybe around late May, we can start coming out of our caves a little bit and start getting back to some sort of normalcy. But I don't know what the economic effects of this is going to be.
No, it's we're dealing with, like you say, a problem based on health, not finance. So it's
right.
A completely different recession that we're going to face, a downturn.
Yeah, who knows? Like, this could get 1,000,000 times worse.
It could,
before it gets any better.
It could. Well, I hope for all of our sakes it doesn't, Shaun. I also hope that that you do take everything you've said you're going to do. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out of your LinkedIn. I'd implore people from the UK, people listening, get on and follow you, because look, you might have had some negative press in the past. I personally saw a lot of value in what you were doing. I found it entertaining, but I also understood what your angle. So I don't remember the negative side and seeing it. So I'm excited to see what you can come up with. I think we need more people like you in our sector that are talented and are prepared you're prepared to have a voice. You're prepared to have an opinion. And that, to me, everyone has it offline, but it's those that have it online, I think, that will truly stand out in the next few years. So
yeah, I think, I guess in closing, like right now, if you are listening, if you don't have, and I'm not telling you need to go out and start posting 3 times a day and just, throwing anything up at the walls, but start building a brand, man. Like, it helps so much. Like, it really, really does. And it's not going to happen overnight, but you want to be seen as someone in your market that knows what to do. Like, you're an expert in what you do. Make it
credible. You want to be credible, and you've got no better time to do it. And actually, as well, a lot of the work on LinkedIn at the minute is like free. You're getting free engagement. You're getting free exposure, free views. That will 100%. Well, look, keep in touch, Shaun. As I said, are you open for anyone in the UK to reach out, or anyone listening, in fact, to reach out and ask any questions?
Oh, of course.
Wicked. Yeah. Well, I'll get everyone. I'll get you tagged in all the content. And as I said, we'll keep an eye on you and stay safe. Guys, that's another episode of the RAG Report. I hope you enjoyed it today. We'll be back again tomorrow with another leader, advisor, recruitment owner who are prepared to give their take on what's going on and any advice they can to make us all stronger as a result of this. In the meantime, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.